I was raised in New York City and also part-time in the Boston area. Child of a grandmother who really raised me, along with my mother, who was a single mother. And she came out of the black tradition in the South, where you didn't take anything for granted, especially the right to vote. And I actually remember on September 11th, 2001, the September 11th, I was so worried about her because she lived in New York City, and I was trying to reach her, and I finally reached her, and she was worried about the fact that she thought she couldn't vote. It was primary day in New York City, and buildings are falling around, and she's worried about, am I going to get to the polls? So that's a tradition that I come out of, and why I don't take democracy for granted. And coming from a history of the African American community where we have seen the struggle of civil rights and how hard we've had to fight for that right. It has been wonderful to work at Access, where I get to every day fund and support the organizations and communities that are trying to protect that democracy. We've been around for about 10 years, and we fund communities, especially low-income communities, communities of color, that are really trying to harness the collective power of underserved communities to access democracy. So we fund organizations primarily located in local communities who are trying to not only organize around issues that impact their communities around economic justice or poverty or jobs or environmental justice, but we're particularly funding them to be much more politically sophisticated about how they do their work. So we fund the entire civic engagement, if you will, the entire 10-year cycle of voting to working on the census every 10 years to how you draw political lines, how you participate in the State House, how you raise your voice and amplify your voice. So we've been doing that work for about 10 years. In terms of how we reform and transform philanthropy, I think what we really need to do at this point is start to make philanthropy comfortable with getting involved with democracy issues. There was just a recent U.S. Supreme Court ruling called Citizens United. I call it, Corporations United, because it basically said that corporations could have unlimited amount of spending on politics. Now, people can say that's fine, but what does that mean for nonprofits and communities that don't have endless amounts of money to put into politics? What it means is, as people in philanthropy, we're going to have to support organizations to have their voice in politics. Otherwise, it's not going to be visible. And we're going to be, as we are right now, hearing other voices but not hearing them. Just because you don't have money doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to participate in democracy. So I think we have to get more people in philanthropy to be aware of these issues, fund it, and not be afraid of it. And there's plenty of legal resources, and we're happy to talk to anyone about how you can do it.